Today, we're taking you behind the scenes of a concept that sounds bureaucratic, yet shapes every successful technology-driven organization: IT governance. If you've ever wondered how massive corporations manage thousands of computers, secure millions of data points, and keep tech support from descending into chaos, the answer is governance. Governance is not about restriction but about alignment, safety, and strategic momentum. It ensures technology investments support and expand business goals rather than creating costly risks. Let's start with the basics. Policies are high-level statements of intent, serving as organizational laws written and approved by leadership. An acceptable use policy directs employees on how company devices and software may be used, while a data retention policy determines how long records are kept. Policies provide legal and behavioral baselines and empower IT teams to enforce rules consistently. Controls, in contrast, are the practical mechanisms that ensure policies are followed. To understand policies and controls, we must first understand the umbrella they sit under. It governs itself. Think of a massive container ship out in the open ocean. The ship has a powerful engine, which represents your IT operations, the raw tech power, the software, the servers, and the developers. But without a rudder, a captain, a compass, and a strict set of maritime maps, that ship will either collide with another vessel or run aground. Governance is the rudder and the compass. Governance is distinctly different from management. Management is about running the day-to-day operations. Governance, on the other hand, is about looking at the big picture. It asks the tough questions. Are we buying the right technology? Are we protecting our customers' privacy? Without effective governance, an organization falls into a state of shadow IT. This is where different departments buy their own software, store company data on unapproved personal cloud accounts, and use weak passwords because nobody told them otherwise. This introduces massive security vulnerabilities and wastes millions of dollars on duplicate systems. Governance steps in to create a unified strategy. It balances risk versus return, ensures accountability, and creates a repeatable structure so that as a company grows, its technology infrastructure can scale safely alongside it. Now, let's break down the first major pillar of IT governance: policies. A policy is a high-level statement of intent. It is a formal document, written and approved by the highest levels of leadership, that dictates what the organization must do or must not do regarding technology. Policies do not get bogged down in the technical minutiae. They don't tell you which button to click or what line of code to write. Instead, they set the boundaries and expectations. Think of a policy like the Constitution of a country. It sets the fundamental laws. For example, an organization might have an acceptable use policy. This document clearly states that company-owned laptops are strictly for business purposes and that employees cannot download unauthorized software. Another critical document is the data retention policy, which outlines exactly how long customer records must be kept before they are safely and permanently deleted. Policies are crucial because they establish the legal and behavioral baseline for the entire workforce. They ensure that if a data breach occurs or if an auditor steps in, the company can point to a clear document that proves they intended to operate safely and ethically. A policy gives the IT department the authority it needs to enforce rules. Without written policies, trying to enforce security measures feels arbitrary to employees. Policies turn personal preferences into organizational laws, ensuring consistency across every department. If a policy is the law, then a control is the enforcement mechanism. A policy says we must secure our data. A control is the actual lock on the digital door. Controls are the specific mechanisms, procedures, and technical settings implemented to ensure that the policy is actively followed and that risks are mitigated. Without controls, policies are just empty promises sitting in a forgotten folder on the company intranet. Controls generally fall into three main buckets: administrative, technical, and physical. Administrative controls are human-centric, such as background checks for new IT hires or mandatory annual cybersecurity training. Technical controls are implemented through software and hardware. This includes things like multi-factor authentication, firewalls, automated daily backups, and software that automatically blocks employees from visiting dangerous websites. Physical controls protect the tangible infrastructure, like badge access to the server room, security guards, and security cameras. Furthermore, we classify controls by their timing and intent. Preventive controls stop an incident before it happens, like an antivirus blocking malware. Detective controls discover an incident while or after it happens, like an intrusion detection system alerting a team to a breach. Corrective controls fix the damage after an event occurs, like restoring a database from a clean backup. By layering these controls, an organization builds a defense-in-depth strategy, making it incredibly difficult for errors or hackers to bring down the network. Let's pause here for our first checkpoint challenge to see how well you have grabbed these core concepts. Imagine your company writes a document stating, all employees must change their system passwords every 90 days. Is this statement a policy, or is it a control? Take a moment to think about the difference between high-level intent and the actual mechanism of enforcement. If you answer that this statement is a policy, you are absolutely correct. It establishes the high-level operational requirement and rule. Now, for part 2 of the challenge, if the IT department then programs the central network server to automatically log users out and force a password change when that 90-day limit hits, what is that technical implementation called? That mechanism is a technical, preventative control. The rule sets the expectation, but the server automation actively enforces it. If you got both of these right, you have a solid grasp on the bedrock principles of IT governance. Organizations don't have to invent their policies and controls out of thin air. In fact, doing so would be incredibly risky. Instead, the global IT community relies on established governance frameworks. These frameworks provide a pre-built blueprint that has been tested across thousands of organizations worldwide. One of the most prominent frameworks is COBIT, which stands for Control Objectives for Information and Related Technology. Created by ISACA, COBIT bridges the gap between technical risks, business requirements, and control needs. It focuses heavily on value creation, ensuring that every piece of tech you implement directly serves the corporate strategy. Another massive framework you will encounter is TIL, or the Information Technology Infrastructure Library. While COBIT focuses on governance and what should be done, ITIL focuses on service management and how to do it efficiently. Then, we have specific compliance standards like ISO 27001, which is the international benchmark for information security management systems. When a company aligns its policies with ISO 2701, it is proving to its clients and partners that it treats data security with the highest level of seriousness. Adopting these frameworks saves immense amounts of time. It ensures that your internal controls are globally recognized, which makes passing audits and establishing trust with international clients significantly easier. It transforms IT from a chaotic black box into a structured, predictable corporate asset. To truly understand the value of governance, we must look at what happens when it breaks down. History is filled with multi-million-dollar reminders that weak policies and unmonitored controls lead to catastrophe. Take the famous Equifax data breach of 2017. This disaster compromised the deeply sensitive personal data of over 140 million people. A known vulnerability in a piece of web software that had a patch available months prior. The failure, however, was fundamentally a failure of IT governance. There was a patch policy on paper, but the internal control mechanism failed to verify that the patch was actually deployed on the consumer portal. The system lacked detective and monitoring controls to flag the unpatched server. This oversight cost the organization over $1 billion in fines, legal settlements, and technology overhauls. Another prime example is the massive 2013 Target breach, where attackers gained entry using credentials stolen from a third-party heating and air conditioning vendor. The policy failure here was not extending strict access controls to external vendors. The control failure was allowing a vendor access to the core network without network segmentation. These case studies prove a vital point: data breaches are rarely just technical glitches. They are almost always structural governance failures where a policy lacked teeth or a control lacked verification. To truly master the basics of IT governance, you must understand how policies and controls exist in a continuous, symbiotic relationship. They cannot function effectively without each other. If you have a policy that states all company data must remain confidential, but you have zero technical controls in place, employees will naturally use unencrypted chat apps, leak files, and compromise the firm. The policy fails because it has no teeth. Conversely, if you implement heavy-handed controls without policy alignment, you create a toxic work environment. Imagine an IT department that suddenly locks down every computer, blocks access to basic web tools, and requires a 20-character password change every single week without explaining why. Employees will find the controls overly restrictive, get frustrated, and actively look for ways to bypass them. This tension destroys productivity and actually makes the company less secure. In a mature IT governance framework, policies provide the why and the what, while controls provide the how. This harmony creates a predictable environment where security facilitates business growth instead of hindering it. When new employees join, they read the clear policies to understand the company's culture of safety. As they do their work, the technical controls silently guide and protect them in the background. This balance allows the business to innovate rapidly, knowing they have a robust safety net built right into their digital foundation. As we look to the future, the scope of IT governance is expanding rapidly into the realm of artificial intelligence. The explosion of large language models and automated decision-making systems has created a massive brand new frontier for risk. Without specific AI governance policies, organizations run into incredible vulnerabilities. For example, if an employee copies sensitive company code or confidential customer financials into a public AI tool to build a summary, that data can be absorbed into the public model. This constitutes a severe, unregulated data leak. To tackle this, forward-thinking organizations are drafting explicit AI acceptable use policies. These documents outline exactly which tools are approved, what data types can be input, and who owns the ultimate outputs. But remember, a policy needs controls. Technical controls for AI include implementing enterprise-grade, sandboxed AI environments where data is explicitly blocked from training public models. Organizations also deploy data loss prevention software that stops sensitive formats from being pasted into unapproved web browsers. Furthermore, AI governance demands controls for algorithmic bias and model drift, ensuring automated systems remain accurate, ethical, and legally compliant. By wrapping AI in a robust framework of governance, companies can harness its world-changing efficiency without exposing themselves to catastrophic legal, ethical, or security fallout. Before we wrap up this masterclass, let's challenge your understanding one last time with our advanced governance checkpoint. Think back to our real-world case studies and our breakdown of emerging AI trends. Suppose your company implements a software system that scans all outgoing enterprise emails and automatically blocks messages containing unencrypted customer credit card numbers. Based on our categories, what specific type of control is this? Let's break it down together. Because it uses automated software running inside the system infrastructure, it is a technical control. because it actively steps in to stop an incident from happening before the email ever leaves the organization. It functions as a preventative control. If you categorize this as a technical, preventative control, your understanding is spot on. You are officially ready to navigate complex corporate conversations about compliance, technology risks, and strategic guardrails. Understanding IT governance, policies, and controls is your first step toward leading in today's enterprise landscape. By recognizing that policies establish the strategic rules and controls build the operational guardrails, you can better appreciate how massive tech infrastructures stay upright and resilient against daily global threats. If you're ready to take this information further, head over to 2leapforward.com for exclusive tools and resources that aren't available here. Visiting the site is the best way to support the work we do on this channel. You enjoyed the video, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a like. Thanks for watching.